back to Northside Square, everyone. My name is Quincy Jones, Director of Programs for the Works, Inc., and of course the project manager for this wonderful Northside Square project. Today is a very cold, kind of cool Wednesday afternoon, but I'm back. Back here in the month of December 2024, just a few weeks away from Christmas and all of the good holidays coming up, and I am joined by yet another wonderful former Cougar, I guess once a Cougar, always a Cougar at Northside High, Miss Myra Cross from the class of 1984. Myra, welcome.
Hello, how are you all doing?
And so today we're going to talk a little bit to Myra about kind of her Northside story. So Myra, you are a Northside alum from the class of 1984.
Yes.
And what I want to talk to you a little bit about today is kind of your Northside experience, and I'll let you tell it because I understand you grew up close by,
yes,
and you still live close by.
Yes.
And so you're seeing all of this transformation happen. But before we jump into that, can you just kind of share with us a little bit about your background growing up in the neighborhood and what it was like when you came to Northside, I believe in 1982 for the first time in your 10th grade. So just tell us a little bit about your experiences.
Well, 82 was my first time here as a student.
Okay.
But I actually was here in the 70s because all of my siblings attended Northside. I am the seventh child of seven.
Wow.
And all of my siblings, from my oldest brother Anthony to me, baby girl, attended here. So I have a lovely memory of this institution as well as a wonderful educational experience at Northside. Yeah.
And so, obviously, you went on to do some great things after you finished. And you were gone maybe about 30 years in the military, is that right?
Yeah.
And then you came back. And so, what did you study while you were here? And tell us a little bit about what you did when you graduated.
Well, I was actually a double major, and this is before you had to declare majors.
Okay.
Music and math.
Wow, music and math.
Music and math. So I was a member of all of the choirs here under the tutelage of Ms. Mims.
Okay.
And we had a great time. I mean, we went to choir competitions, and we won choir competitions. We also participated in the West Tennessee vocal choir. So we did auditions as well as presenting, and we had choir competitions. As far as math, all of the alumni should remember Ms. Parker. She was the math teacher for every single one of my siblings, and she was firm, but also she educated you. You learned a lot. So I went all the way up to advanced math here at Northside. So I didn't like calculus.
Okay.
But we had all of the schools. In fact, Northside at the time I attended and my siblings attended was one of the premier schools in this city.
Okay.
So we had both technical training, we had ROTC, we had a great band, the music program was awesome, our teachers were awesome. I never had a bad experience with the teachers. Principals were great, just a wonderful experience overall.
Wonderful. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit more after you graduated in 1984. What did you do?
I had a scholarship. In fact, I had about three, but I went to historically black college, Jackson State University, Jackson, Mississippi.
Tigers.
Yes, had a great time. In fact, I had too much fun, so I needed some structure.
Okay.
So I decided to come back to Memphis and attended Memphis State, not the University of Memphis. And
the other Tigers.
I went there for 2 years, and then I just decided I needed something.
Gotcha.
Because I wasn't sure where I wanted to go career-wise.
Okay.
So, my father was Air Force and my mother was Air Force, so I said, I'm going to join the military.
Nice.
And I joined the United States Air Force in 1987.
Thank you for your service.
You're more than welcome. And I traveled the world.
Wow. So you were gone 30 years, and then you came back to Memphis, and then you could have made a lot of decisions, but you chose to come back to the Valentine Evergreen community, where you still are.
Right.
Okay. And so what led to that, and then kind of take us into what you're looking forward to when you see, because obviously the neighborhood had changed, as we talked about offline earlier. The neighborhood had changed, and now the neighborhood is still changing. The school closed down in 2016. But let's talk about the year you came back and kind of what your remembrance. Did you come back and visit Northside when you came back to the city, or kind of what was that transition?
I kind of always drove around the city looking, and the transformation has been different. My parents moved into the home that I'm in right now in 1970. And at that time, believe it or not, it was a Jewish neighborhood.
Absolutely.
We had a synagogue, it was Jewish. And so it transitioned from the Jewish Valentine Evergreen area. Now, Klondike has always been historically African American. So that has not changed too much, but the Valentine Evergreen area has changed. That dynamic has changed a little bit. And a lot of people are bemoaning the gentrification, but I am actually embracing it because anytime you see renovation and development, that is a positive thing. So the fact that they're transforming Northside, while it was a little, nostalgically, I was a little upset about it. But the fact that you're able to keep some of the historical of it and the structure itself is basically the same. I can still come by here and go, oh, okay, I went to high school and that was a high school.
Absolutely.
So I'm really excited about it. And I've also remember Crosstown when it was Sears. We used to shop there.
Yep.
So that transformation actually was a very positive one. So I'm looking forward to that happening here at Northside, becoming Northside Square instead of Northside High School.
There you go. We appreciate that.
No problem.
And so one of the things that we talk about is the transformation of this building, being obviously a building that was built in the mid-'60s as a school. And I failed to mention, we're actually on the 3rd floor today, which of course will be home to the 42 residential units. And Myra, you and I were just kind of talking about the transition of building this building out from a school into a mixed-use facility. And so you talked about kind of your educational experience and all of the positive experience you have with teachers here and having the dual majors. And so one of the things we talked about, more tech, which is going to be our largest tenant on our basement. And so we still will have parts of a educational training component with that large tenant here in our basement. But as we talk about the residential uses, the incoming food hall, the offices, so we're seeing this being more of a reflection of the community. Healthcare providers will be here, so on and so forth. And so is that something that you're really looking forward to, seeing your school transform into just an educational facility to also an opportunity for people to get trade skills, do more tech, people to have interact in the courtyard, in the plaza, on the front of the building? Kind of what are your thoughts and what are you looking forward to in kind of knowing some of the upcoming tenants and the upcoming users inside?
Well, believe it or not, I went to two of the, you had community meetings.
Yes.
Prior to even the groundbreaking, and I went to a couple of them, and there was conversation. And one of the things I enjoyed is that you all paid attention to what we had to say.
Absolutely.
And so the fact I believe you're still keeping the gym pretty much like it is, or like it was, is great for me because I think that if the community will embrace the change, that we can be productive and give children something to do after school, get them off the street, give them something very, very productive and educational. One of the things that I kind of hated seeing in school systems is the lack of vocab. Everyone thinks that I need to be a business person or that I need to be a doctor. And I'm like, no, we still need our plumbers, we need our builders, and we need our welders. And these are things that you can accomplish without a college education. So if we can reintegrate that into the community, because everybody's not built to be a doctor.
Diversity, that's right.
And God knows we need plumbers and welders and people who work with their hands and who have those skills, electricians. All you need there is you need a technical education. So the fact that more tech, and I didn't know that until you just said it, is coming here, that's awesome. Because I pass by Morgan Tech or Poplar all the time, and so they're going to do something right here in the neighborhood. That is just great. I'm excited about hearing that. So
Looking forward to it. So it's good to hear that you're excited. Well, Myra, I want to thank you for being here. I'm going to take you around and show you some other parts of the building, and particularly the Northside Hall of Fame, which I think you'll appreciate, where some of the artifact memorabilia is going to go. And then we're going to look at some other areas on this level as well as the lower level also. So I'm going to take you around and
I like the skylights.
Love the skylights. We're going to have some shots of the skylights. The skylights are fully in now. I'm biased, but I think they look great. They look wonderful. I want to encourage everyone to continue sending us your questions, comments. We love to hear them. We do get feedback from time to time. And thank you for being here at Northside Square. Thank you.
You're welcome. Glad to come.